One of the museums I've been meaning to go to for quite some time specializes in printing technology. It's actually the largest printing museum in the world, with a total exhibition area of 4,600 square meters. And for that reason alone, I thought it should definitely be on my list of must-see places to visit. The China Printing Museum is located in Daxing District, an area in the southernmost reaches of Beijing. With the advent of various subway line extensions at the end of 2012, it is now very simple to get there, and I can no longer put off my foray with the excuse that it would take me forever to get there. The blurb tells you that it's located within striking distance of Qingyuanlu subway station on the Daxing line. That's the line that is a continuation of Line 4. And sure enough, when I get there, I find a helpful map on the station wall showing just how close it is. Unfortunately, your favourite podcaster is a trusting sort of chap, and when some website helpfully puts up a picture of what the museum actually looks like, it's not that surprising that I go in search of it, notwithstanding the fact that I get this certain feeling that I'm going in the wrong direction. Too true, and it's not long before I stop to take stock of where the hell I am. I retrace my steps towards the station, reading through the printouts of the websites that I'd had the foresight to prepare before I left. As the largest museum specializing in China's printing technology, the museum is located in the Beijing Printing Institute, I read. Well, I've already passed an Institute of Graphic Communication, so I head back for that, wondering if the two are connected. Guanma? I ask the surly-looking guard, pointing through the railings while showing him a picture displayed on the web printout. He looks confused. Okay, I know my Chinese is pretty atrocious, so this doesn't surprise me in the slightest. He waves his hand dismissively at the piece of paper and launches into a 5-minute tirade that is total gobbledygook to me. But that magic word, Guan, or museum, keeps appearing, together with Hongludong, traffic lights, as he waves in the direction of the street corner. The genius of a brain that keeps me company catches on pretty fast, and very soon I am on my way back to the subway entrance, where, about 10 meters away on the other side, is a building I hadn't even noticed before. The various websites that have all copied and pasted one another's texts unblushingly tell the reader that entrance is 20 RMB. I reach into my wallet, blowing away the dust and cobwebs, and pull out a 20 kwai note. But a well-fed woman in what passes for a uniform with an official red and gold armband refuses any payment and explains in more detailed gobbledygook that no photography is allowed, and that I should make my way to the top floor and work my way downwards, a system that is very common in Chinese museums. So explaining Buhanyu, or no speak Chinese, at her while offering her my sincere and heartfelt thanks, I make my way up the stairs, hiding my camera from her until I'm out of sight. The China Printing Museum was opened in June 1996, reflecting the fact that, like most things in this world, printing technology was one of the great inventions of ancient China. There are 4 exhibition halls in all, distributed over 3 floors, with the statue of Bi Sheng on the ground floor. He's the guy who invented movable type printing some 400 years before Johannes Gutenberg's parents got together for a bit of the old squelchy. As I walk up the staircase, my eyes make out what is called the Modern Technology Hall, which explains the integration of Chinese and Western printing technologies, and the development of printing methods in New China, as well as some old printing machines, which are still in working order. But as instructed, I go to the top floor, the Source and Origin Hall, which offers a brief history of the printing methods of ancient China, as well as the development of printing techniques explained through pictures, texts, artifacts, and models. The story of the source of printing techniques began in 4000 BC until the 6th century, I read on a large notice stuck onto one of the columns supporting the museum's floor, while the creation of printing methods, development and expand of the technique is stated from early 7th century until 1911. It continues in somewhat prosaic mode. Along one wall is a cabinet full of metal type, though one is stopped from approaching it too closely, possibly because they're afraid of souvenir hunters. As well as exhibits of woodblock and movable type printing, there's a rotary composing plate invented by Wang Zhen in the Yuan dynasty, which lasted from 1271 to 1368. There were also models of happy workers carving printing blocks, as well as a picture of the printing plant in the Department of Protocol in the Ming dynasty. Unless you think that everything here is a reproduction or model, there are some genuine books from yesteryear on display to give you a feel for the very high quality of books that could be produced, even in those far-off days. There are samples of ancient engraved woodblock printing, extracts from a rare movable-type printed book, as well as examples of contemporary books and albums, and the print used for trademarks and negotiable securities. Next up, one comes across a display of the evolution of 4 types of printing technology: relief, planographic, intaglio, and stencil printing, as well as the achievements of printing after 1949. This hall also includes 3 specialized exhibition areas: printings in Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, stamps printing, and paper currency printing. The banknotes on display look too clean and well pressed to be genuine. Some are even wrapped up in plastic bags, and one is left wondering if this is done specifically to hide any telltale signs that these are just photocopies. Or am I too cynical, I wonder? But what does look genuine is a large plate camera apparatus for making high-resolution plates from original pictures and drawings. On the ground floor surrounding the bronze sculpture of Sheng is the general hall, where printing companies and printing research centres have set up their own displays, to the detriment of the museum as a whole, I fear. There's a minuscule display for the Gutenberg Museum, which exhibits a perfect example of the problem with movable typefaces. They spelt it Gutenberg, albeit that the sign was certainly not generated by metal type. A model of the wooden handpress invented by Gutenberg and the earliest font presswork of a European Bible is on show. Just to the left is a subsection called the Hall of Digital Technology, which focuses on migration from letterpress to offset printing. Now I'm really starting to feel my age. My real age, that is, not my official age of 39. There's a laser typesetter, for instance. While I also remember another particular type of beastie all too well from my earlier days. Down in the underground area is a veritable collection of pre-printing, printing, and post-printing machinery dating back to the middle of the 19th century. Hands up those of you who remember mucking around with manually operated iron presses, hot metal typesetting machines, and photo typesetters. There's also a lithographic printing press made in Austria in 1892, and a unique offset press made in America in 1962, which weighs 45 tons and is the only one of its kind left in the world. I make my way back to the entrance hall where my newfound friend, the well-fed museum keeper, directs me to take a different route to the station that must add on at least 5 paces from the direct path I had worked out before. I would like to stop and take pictures of the cute lions guarding the entrance, but she is busy shooing me away with a benevolent look on her face, and I decide not to risk any awkward questions regarding the status of my camera.